What's up, guys? It's me, Dr. B, and I'm kind of in a little bit of a different location than I normally am. If you hear some pitter-pattering, it's my dog. But I thought I would just like stand up today and like do my video and just kind of like getting the background view of my condo. But anyways, if you're new here, welcome. So I am Vanessa, or Dr. B, and I like to read books. This video is going to be about my January wrap up and all the books that I basically read in January and my thoughts on them. I'm just going to kind of go in the order that I read the books this month. I started off 2023 with a 5-star read. So I read Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Yes, Queen. I love your book so much. But this book was really good because it talked a lot about therapy, and well, it was like about a divorced couple who they were really kind of like struggling to navigate their relationship post-divorce and kind of seeing other people, and there's just a lot of trauma that happened. So if you're like kind of sensitive to certain things, definitely check the trigger warnings. But it was such a good book. There was lots of communication. There was some funny moments. There's even recipes in the back of the book. But yeah, it was just a phenomenal book. I felt really good reading it. I enjoyed it the whole way through, like didn't get bored at all. Yeah, it's just freaking awesome. And then I paired it with the audiobook as well, so the voices were really good. And the next book that I ended up reading was from my book advent. So I'm still doing that. It's just kind of like whenever I have a moment, aside from all the other books, I'm like sort of mood reading. But the book that I ended up getting probably like back in December at this point was 14 Ways to Die by Vincent Ralph. And this was kind of interesting. It gave me a little bit of a Good Girl's Guide to Murder vibes. Basically, there's like I think she's a teenager. Yeah, 17. And she gets picked to basically go on like an internet reality show, something kind of like YouTube, I guess. And she vlogs her day. Her day was like Monday. And essentially there's a killer who murdered her mom when she was 7. And basically she's like using the platform or whatever to find the killer. So interesting read. I give it 3 stars. It was like definitely an interesting book. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Again, I would also check the trigger warnings in this book because there are a couple of sensitive topics. So yeah, this was a good YA murder mystery kind of story. Okay, and then I don't have the books with me because they were library books, but I read the Heartstopper series. So like volume 1 through 4 is what is currently out right now. And I started watching the show on Netflix. It's really cute. So the whole series, I probably would give 4 stars. Very, very strong 4 stars. I liked book 2 the best. I gave book 2 5 stars. But yeah, the Heartstopper series basically follows a, well, it's 2 guys. Initially, it's like one guy who he's pretty confident that he's gay. He came out as being gay, I think like the year prior, and he faced some bullying from it. He has a really good group of friends, good social support. Some of his friends are also like LGBTQIA+, and he meets this guy in his class who is kind of questioning his sexuality. So it's very like sensitive to a lot of these topics, and I think it's like just a really good series to help maybe some people understand and navigate through any sorts of like LGBTQ concerns or any questions that they might have, or just at least feel like maybe validated in some way. So super cute. Definitely recommend if you're looking for a graphic novel to read. Then I shifted gears a little bit and read my first fantasy of the year. So I read Dance of Thieves by Mary Pearson. And by the way, I love this cover. So this one I felt like was just okay. It was 3 stars. It wasn't like the Actar I was hoping it would be. Yeah, it's like not a book I'm going to be thinking about for the rest of my life, but I did enjoy like how at the end things did tie up pretty nicely. There's like a little romance subplot. I will read the next book in the series, Vow of Thieves, but probably not like anytime super soon. I'm just kind of, right now it's February and I am plowing through like romance books. So if at some point I get super bored of romance, I might switch up the genre a little bit just so I don't get into like a book slump. Then I read, this was also part of my book advent, Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. And this one was just so-so. So I read a lot of so-so books this month. I gave it 3 stars. But yeah, just, again, nothing super memorable about this book. It was just kind of like this doctoral student who her father passes away, and her brother are trying to like clean out the house. The next door neighbor ends up being a guy, a single guy, like who is the love interest, and she basically reads so much like serial killer stuff or listens to podcasts or whatever that she thinks that her neighbor's a serial killer. He's not. So just kind of like dealing with her own paranoia and sifting through some emotional baggage that she had. But yeah, overall it was like just okay. And then I listened to, for the most part, Us Against You, which is by Frederick Bachman. It's the 2nd book in the Beartown series. This book was kind of unnecessary. Like, it's not that I hated it. I gave it 3 stars, but it just like rehashed a lot of the same stuff from the last book. Like, not in a way that was summarizing. It was like going through it again, and I was like, I don't need this. Like, I read the first book, so I didn't feel like I really got anything new from the 2nd book other than they introduced a new character and then something happened to him. But like, I'd skip it. And then I read the first 2 books of the Mindf series. So it's The Risk and Sidetracked. And this whole series is like a dark romance. Basically, main character is like going around killing a bunch of people, and she kind of gets tangled up romantically with like an FBI agent, and it's kind of like a cat and mouse game, I suppose. But it's good. It's like a little bit steamy, a little bit mystery. So it'll be really interesting to see like what happens in the future. I know that Sarah from Sarah's Shelves is doing a 24-hour like reading challenge, I think on February 11th. And she is, I think, focusing on the Mindfuck series. So I will likely tune into that. Probably not all day because I can't do the 24 hours, but I'll probably tune into it as much as I can and try my best to get through the last 3 books of the series because I do want to finish it. It was like part of a buddy read, and I didn't finish it last month, but I did read the first 2 books. Then I read the Messy Lives of Book People, and this book, yeah, just skip it. For real, just skip it. 2 stars. So it's not that I hated it, but I just didn't really like it. I couldn't get into it. It was such a bore. Speaking of Sarah, I actually recommended this book as a book she'd probably not want to read. I think she might be doing a video or something, but it had like a 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo vibe to it, with like the main character and the relationship to the author in the book, but it really just fell flat. It was so boring. Couldn't get into it. The ending definitely was like the better part of the book, but it just overall wasn't a interesting read to me. So 2 stars. Then for the classic literature book club pick, they read 3 Swedish Mountain Men, and it's a reverse harem. It's by Lily Gold. I gave this book 3 stars. The spice was really good. I think I went into it not really understanding what like, well, I knew what a harem is, but like reverse harem, and I was kind of confused. Again, not confused, but I just didn't really understand maybe like how it all worked in book world, but it was okay. Like it was interesting to read, but again, not my favorite. I probably would prefer like more monogamous type of relationships. Not to say like doing harem stuff is bad or anything. It's just like wasn't for me. Okay, so like some people find it to be, you know, super steamy and spicy and whatnot, but like it just wasn't my thing. And that is pretty much everything I read this month. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books, what you rated them. Looking forward to getting into my February reads, and hopefully we'll put out a couple more videos for you this month. February is my birthday month, so if I can like logistically do it, I would like to vlog my birthday. And then I do have some collabs coming up, so just look out for those. But yeah, hit the notification bell, you know, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.